Well, Ben Kelley is coming off a big win in round number 2 down in the sands of Florida as he looks to make it 2 in a row here in round number 3, the Specialized General. But another man has his sights set on his first win of the year. Stu Baylor needs some redemption here today. Who's going to take it? GNCC on MAVTV starts now.
Are you ready to go GNCC Racing?
Well, hello and welcome to the third round of the 2021 GNCC racing season presented by Specialized and AMA National Championship. We're here at beautiful Aonia Pass Motocross Park in Washington, Georgia for the Specialized General GNCC. I'm Mikey Waynes and I'll be taking you through today's racing action. We start things off with a Specialized race recap. And it was the number 3 Magna 1 Motorsports ride of Jordan Ashburn on the Husqvarna, snagging the whole shot and the early lead. Great ride out of Ashburn as he held the lead for quite a while in the beginning until the 2-1-2 factory gas ride of Ricky Russell was able to find his way out in front. Ricky, great start to the race down in Florida for him, of course, coming off that huge injury in 2020. Looking to rebound is Ricky Russell, and so far, so good this season, putting the pieces of the puzzle together, and look for some big things out of Ricky Russell as the year goes on. Little tough break for Ricky in this one, ended up going down just off screen right there, which opened up the opportunity for Jordan Ashburn as well as Ben Kelley getting around him, and then from here, Ben Kelley took over. The number 530 absolutely took the reins down in the sands of Florida. He wanted this win, needed this win. So much anticipation behind the name Ben Kelley, behind the name Stu Baylor. Stu Baylor did not race round 1. In round 2, never looked comfortable out there. Ended up going down right here, and it was just a tough day for Stu Baylor. Ended up ending the day in 8th place in round 2, coming off a round in round 1, the Big Buck GNCC, where he didn't even race. So expect some big things. Expect a rebound ride out of Stu Baylor here today. But the big story in round 2 down in Palatka, Florida, was Ben Kelley. He absolutely took over from here, and when it was all said and done, came in for the checkered flag and took the win in the sands of Florida. Ben Kelley wrapping up the win. Josh Strang, great ride out of the 114 Babbitt's Online Monster Energy Kawasaki, finishing in the number 2 spot. And of course, Jordan Ashburn wrapping up the 2nd place position. We actually had a chance to catch up with Ben Kelley, your winner, after the race.
Yeah, I felt good out there. Got a decent jump off the line and kind of got passed by a few guys. And then at mile 4, I kind of jumped a ditch and landed a little squirrely and went down. So I dropped back to like 7th or so. I was a little frustrated, but yeah, I knew it was going to be a long race, so felt really good. My bike was awesome. Suspension was mint. I just stayed aggressive and kind of blitzed the whoops everywhere, and it felt really good as long as I didn't get low in the whoops. So not too many mistakes or sketchy moments. Just I played it patient with the lappers this time because it bit me at the first round. So yeah, I just rode smart and came out on top. It feels good.
Well, can Ben Kelley go back-to-back here in round number 3? The XC1 is off and rolling and jockeying for position for the All Balls Whole Shot Award. It looks like the number 3, the Magna 1 Motorsports Husqvarna of Jordan Ashburn, going to grab that early lead. Ricky Russell right behind him in the number 2 spot. Looks like he was followed there by the 114 of Strang. Looks like Strang dropping a couple of positions right there, back into about the 5th place position, at least for the moment, as Strang makes the push there into the number 4 spot. But boy, great start out of Ashburn, and now looks like Ricky Russell grabbing the lead. And how about that for Medaglia? That was Tyler Medaglia there in the number 2 spot behind Ricky Russell. So strong start for the 902 of Tyler Medaglia. Boy, That's got to be his best start of the season. We'll see how long Medaglia can hang on to that one. Certainly a good start for him. In the XC2 250 Pro class now, a whole shot award up for grabs courtesy of Hot Cams. All the 178 getting cut off by the 941 Yamaha of Chris Vendetti. He's going to grab that whole shot, but the Babbitt's Online Monster Energy Kawasaki ride of Lyndon Snodgrass right there, close behind, and just outside of that, those top two riders. I think that was Craig DeLong right there. So good start for the defending champ in the XC2, at least for the moment. DeLong looking like he's back in about the number 4 spot right now. But boy, Chris Vendetti snagging the whole shot and leading the way through the woods. And back to the starting line for the FMF XC3, the 125 Pro-Am class. No better sound in the world, and it's Chase Colville on the number 318 Yamaha, followed by Eli Childers. Chase Colville, a whole shot machine here to start the year. See if he can keep this thing going and maybe snag his first win of the season in the FMF XC3 class. Colville still leading the way as they head into the woods, and fantastic start for him. We'll see if he can hang on to it. FMF XC3 class pretty stacked this year. We go back to our XC1, and Ricky Russell still out in front, and it is Tyler Medaglia sitting in the number 2 spot. Boy, solid start for him. Jordan Ashburn sits in 3rd place. Josh Strang in 4th, coming off a 2nd place finish in round number 2. We'll see what Strang's got in store for Georgia here in round 3. But we're off and rolling here in Washington, Georgia for the Specialized General GNCC. More racing action coming at you here on MAVTV.
Coverage of the 2020 Grand National Cross Country Series on MAVTV is brought to you in part by Specialized Turbo e-bikes. It's you, only faster. Rocky Mountain ATV MC, get ready. And by Yamaha, revs your heart.
Well, many people wondered what the 514 Ampro Yamaha ride of Stu Baylor would do here today in round 3. He didn't race round 1, he never looked comfortable in round 2, and he finished 8th on that day. But maybe things are turning around here in round 3 as Stu Baylor finds himself out in front. Ricky Russell in the number 2 spot. That is Jordan Ashburn in 3rd, and Medaglia still in that number 4 spot. But boy, talk about a freight train behind him, a slew of XC1 riders all right there with a shot at least the number 3 position for now. And you got to think, as Caleb Russell rode off into retirement, Stu Baylor emerged as a heavy favorite this past offseason. If you look back at how he did at the end of 2020, rightfully so. Certainly a heavy favorite heading into this season, as well as Ben Kelley. In talking to Stu after round 2, the frustration level is high, but he's convinced the season's far from over. It's going to take several wins for Stu to have a chance this season, but it's certainly not impossible. Stu now with a bit of a gap on Ricky Russell, as it looks, at least it looks that way. Stu Baylor on screen, and nobody behind him as he gets the line choice, and there he is. There is Ricky Russell on screen. Different line choice for him right there, but nonetheless, still got a bit of a gap between him. A little sideways right there, but he's good. Still trying to chip away at that lead. Stu Baylor, this guy is riding like a man who needs a win, no doubt about that. Ricky Russell in the number 2 spot. Where is 3rd place? So a little bit of a gap between Ricky Russell and Stu Baylor, and a huge gap in between Ricky Russell and 3rd place. Who is the 3rd place ride going to be? Medaglia, fantastic start for him, but Ashburn and company were knocking on the door to try and catch up with him, and boy, talk about a gap now. Stu Baylor now into the camera shot. He's out of the camera shot. We got time to pan back, pop some popcorn, and we're still looking for 2nd place to check through right here. Wow. Ricky Russell, is it going to be the 212 factory racing, Coastal Racing factory gas machine? It is, but he's got some company. Ricky Russell in the number 2 spot, and that looks like the 530 of Ben Kelley, and it is. So Ben Kelley into the number 3 position now. Ashburn falls to 4th, and Josh Strang right behind him in 5th with the 206 KTM of Toth behind him, and Lane Michael knocking on the door directly behind him. Stu Baylor now, the Ampro Yamaha number 514. No problems right there. Starting to get into a little bit of lap traffic, but Stu making quick work of that rider. Ooh, Ben Kelley finds neutral, able to get the gear shifted and back on the throttle. Oh, that's a struggle, and boy, he's got to get on it because the freight train of Josh Strang is on the move, as is Ricky Russell. Russell had that lead early on. You know he wants to get it back. Russell, a rider you got to think looking for some redemption here in Georgia, where he suffered that injury a year ago and set out the rest of the season in 2020. So fantastic start for him. Fantastic start for Stu Baylor. Well, in addition to dirt bike racing, in addition to ATV racing, EMTB has taken the GNCC Racing Series by storm, bringing back names like Charlie Mullins, who is your 2020 defending XC1 champion, looking to pick up where he left off in 2020. It was round number 1 for the EMTB Racing Series, and Charlie Mullins, well, he did exactly what we saw him leave off the year doing, and that's snagging wins. But I gotta say, I don't think things are gonna be as easy for Charlie this season. He'll have his hands full as 15 riders were signed up for the XC1 Pro class, with some big names coming out of the world of mountain bike racing. So things are certainly picking up in EMTB racing. Could Charlie repeat that championship performance this year? Only time will tell. Well, back on the dirt bike racing side of things, early in the day, it was a youth race taking to the Specialized General GNCC. And boy, talk about a battle. Nick DeFeo, the number 3, and Chase Landers right there, jockeying for position for the whole shot. DeFeo enjoyed the early lead, but it was the number 6 Magna 1 Motorsports ride of Chase Landers snagging the win at the General GNCC, making it back-to-back wins for Chase.
Yeah, it felt awesome. We started about second, and then Rivers passed me going into the woods, stayed consistent. I saw Nick was trying to get away, so I got around Rivers as fast as I could, caught Nick. We hung together for a first few laps, and me and Caleb battled it out, and all the way to the end. This last lap, he made a mistake. I was just cruising, trying to stay smooth the last lap. He made a mistake, got around him, and we're here, back to back.
Well, as you take a look at the top 10, Caleb Lane finishing in the number 2 spot, and Nick DeFeo, who battled early with Chase Landers. T-Rex, they call him. He rounded out the top 3. Solid race day for him there. Well, back to the XC1 Pro class, and we got Stu Baylor coming into the pits at the Ampro Yamaha pits for a fuel stop and a goggle change. See how it goes for Stu Baylor right here, the 514. Cool, calm, collected, as is his pit crew. There's his wife, Jade, on screen right there, getting him rehydrated. And the 514 gets a pat on the back, and he's ready to roll. I believe Stu got out just in time to maintain that lead out in front of Ricky Russell and Ben Kelley. And this is bad news right here. Strang coming in almost sideways, throwing the hand up, and the bike's going on the bike stand. Of course, the pit crew knew what was going on. They're prepared for it. That front brake change, that's a heartbreaker. This is going to be a lot of time lost. They're working quick. They're doing well. Oh, and a tough break right there as well for Lane Michael. That's the 523 Ampro Yamaha ride of Lane Michael. He's going to be done for the day. Strang shakes his head. He says, I don't know what the heck happened, but it's frustrating. And no doubt it is frustrating. Strang's had a good start to this season. We'll see if he can make up some ground here before this one's said and done. In the big picture of things, hey, it's a long season, it's early, but with the level of competition in the XC1 class, you just can't afford mistakes. And the guy out front right now, Stu Baylor, he knows that himself. He says, hey, I didn't even race round 1. I struggled in round 2. I get it. But it ain't over until the fat lady sings. So Stu Baylor on the move out in front. Ricky Russell sitting in that number 2 spot, or excuse me, the number 3 spot now, as we saw on screen. Ben Kelley up into the number 2 position. So Stu Baylor letting the lap traffic know, hey, I'm here. I need a win. Watch out, buddy. And here comes Ben Kelley in that number 2 spot. Now with a little bit of a gap on 3rd place is the 530 KTM of Ben Kelley. Where is he? Josh Toth now moves into the number 3 position ahead of Ricky Russell right there at the bottom of the screen, who is now into the number 4 position. So things moving right along right here. He needs a win. He needs multiple wins if he wants a shot, Stu Baylor. Well, right now, he's doing exactly what he needs to do. There is Ben Kelley right there in the number 2 position, and we'll see if that's still Toth in the number 3 spot. It is. So that is the KTM teammate of Ben Kelley, Josh Toth, in the number 3 position. See how far back there is Ricky Russell. Looks like one lap rider in between them. Ricky Russell makes quick work of him. And out in front, still, Stu Baylor. He needs wins. He needs them in a bad way. Coming into this one, he's got an 8th place finish in round number 2, and he didn't even race in round number 1. Looking for a win here today. And Ben Kelley, the other big name during the offseason. Everybody wonders, hey, as this season wears on, is it going to be a battle between those two guys for the championship? I got a feeling that might be right. We may be mentioning those guys in the same sentence for several races to come throughout this season. It's going to be a wild one. Stu Baylor still out in front and managing this race very well. Got a good lead on Ben Kelley right now in that number 2 spot as Ben Kelley coursing this GNCC racetrack and coursing around some lap traffic, trying to find some speed out there, as is Josh Toth. Josh Toth says, hey, I want my name thrown in the hat. I got a shot at this thing. And Ricky Russell, you can't say enough good things about that. Yeah, that rider after the season he had in 2020. Well, Stu Baylor's out in front. He needs a win. Does he grab his first one here today? We'll find out more next.
Coverage of the 2020 Grand National Cross Country Series on MAVTV is brought to you in part by Specialized Turbo E-Bikes. It's you, only faster. Rocky Mountain ATV MC, get ready. And by Yamaha, revs your heart.
Stu Baylor on screen. He said it himself. He needs to start winning. Today, he's going to get the job done. He is down to the nitty-gritty in this one. Not much further to go. He's got a good lead on second, and all the pieces of the puzzle came together today for the 514 AmPro Yamaha ride, as we're going to see him check in here and get the checkered flag with a convincing win here at the General GNCC. There he is, one more turn to go, and Ricky Towery with the waving of the white flag for one more rider. Make it 2 more riders, and there it is, the checkered flag for Stu Baylor. What a fantastic ride. I think the fans are waiting for him to loop it out right there. But Stu says, hey, I'm all business right now. I got a lot of work to do to get back up in here and start competing. And how about that? Doesn't get much better than that. Stu is a man of the fans. Guy's holding the cold barley pop for him right there, saying, I got you, bud. You want help with your helmet? I got you on that too. All right, that might have been the mechanic. That's not the mechanic with the beer. Want to specify that. Those are the GNCC Racing Nation. Stu doing it for the fans right there. Getting him some beef jerky. I don't know what the heck that was, but he's feeling good. Now he's double fisting. He says, cheers. You take that beer. Cheers me. We're good. Let's celebrate.
Yeah, it was solid. I got a really terrible start, and some guys just missed some lines, and I really nailed my marks all day, and a lot of the lines were faster outside main track, and that's where I made most of my passes getting to the front. There was a couple sneaky insides I had here and there, but we were able to make it happen quick, and it was one of those days you just wanted to control the race. I talked to Rodney before. Florida was a day you wanted to sit in the mid pack. Big Buck was a day you wanted to sit in mid pack. It was dry out here. It was hard slick. You could push. You could control your pace, and that's kind of what I did. I just dropped the hammer that first lap, put a gap on the guys, and that was just I needed that cushion all day, and I was able to stretch that margin.
Well, a solid ride for the 530 Ben Kelley here today, as he's going to check in right here with the second place finish, and we had a chance to catch up with Ben after the race.
Yeah, coming into here, I definitely wanted to try to repeat for another win, and I did the best I could, decent start, and these conditions don't suit me, like this hard pack, dry, slick, where you're just flat tracking, so I knew it was going to be a tough day, and knew everyone would be close just because there wasn't really anything to separate us. But yeah, I did the best I could. I was kind of mid-pack for the whole race, and Stu got around me, and he was on the gas, had some good lines to where he just yarded me on that first lap. And so yeah, just did the best I could, but I just soldiered on, and it was hard. Gave it all I could, but Stu handled me today, but it's all good. Second place is cool. Yeah, just happy to have a solid ride and then come away with a podium.
Congratulations once again to Stu Baylor on the win. Ben Kelley ending the day in the number 2 spot. How many times are we going to mention those two guys' name in the same sentence this season? And how about it for teammate of Ben Kelley, Mr. Josh Toth, rounding out the top 3?
Yeah, brutal day, man. That was tougher than Florida. Felt a little better coming into it, and just gave it 100% and left it all on the track. I mean, everyone was riding so good, and there's so many fast guys. It was a great battle in the beginning, and just kept my pace and just put my head down and charged, tried it right to the checkers.
Taking a look at our Specialized race recap. Jockeying for position on the whole shot, it was the number 3 Magna 1 Motorsports Husqvarna ride of Jordan Ashburn, grabbing the whole shot and the early lead. But not for long as the 2-1-2 Coastal Racing factory gas machine of Ricky Russell coming back to Georgia. Gloves off, ready to roll and snag an early lead in this one. How about the start for Tyler Medaglia as well, who battled up front with these guys for a while. And then eventually Stu Baylor moving into the front and really never looking back. It was a tough break for Josh Strang as well as Lane Michael today. But hey, still plenty of season left to get things turned around. But when it was all said and done, that man right there, the 514 of Stu Baylor, getting the job done. Also want to note, solid rides today for Grant Baylor, who finished in the number 4 spot. Don't forget, he won round 1. The man is making moves this season. And Ricky Russell, he rounded out the top 3. Of course, Ben Kelley taking 2nd, and Josh Toth, his teammate for the KTM factory team, finishing in the number 3 spot. So all in all, a good day, a move in the right direction for Stu Baylor, snagging the win here today. He's got a lot of work to do, though, but the man has got the axe out, and he's chipping away at it. How is this season going to look as it wears on? And Stu Baylor, if he is capable of clicking off wins, look out. This is going to be a wild season here in 2021. Big congrats to Johnny Gerard as well, taking the win in the XC2 class. That's going to do it for us in round number 3, the Specialized GNCC. I'm Mikey Waynes. We'll see you at the races.